Hello there. Today we are talking about how to cultivate self-worth in everyday life. I'm going to give you some quick wins with some instant pick-me-ups. So, first let's talk about self-worth in itself. What if self-worth isn't something you have to achieve? What if it's something that you practice? Because here's the truth. Most women are waiting to feel worthy before they start treating themselves like they matter. And today I want to flip that script. If you've been feeling a little meh about yourself lately, this is your practical, doable, no drama guide to cultivating self worth in your everyday life. Hi, I'm Noelle Rizzio, and if you're new here, I talk about self worth in real life. Not bubble baths and vision boards, although we do love those too. I mean the small daily decisions that quietly shape how you see yourself. Because self worth isn't built in big cinematic moments, it's built in how you talk to yourself, what you tolerate, in what you allow from other people, and in what you practice daily. So, today I'm giving you quick wins and emotional pick me ups that you can start using immediately. So, let's reframe what self worth actually is. I want to clear something up. Self worth is not constant confidence. It's not loving yourself every single second. It's not never doubting yourself. What self worth is, it's the quiet belief that you matter, even on your worst day. And that belief is built through our behaviors. So let's talk about some small daily behaviors that can reinforce the fact that you are worthy every day. All right, so here are some quick wins for everyday self worth. The first one, keep one tiny promise to yourself daily. This is the most underrated self worth builder on the planet. It's not a huge promise like I'm going to reinvent my life or I'm going to move to California and become a movie star, okay? This is something small. Something like drink one glass of water first thing when you wake up, or say to yourself, I'm going to go to bed 20 minutes earlier today. Or just, I'm going to take a 5-minute walk. Or I'm not going to check my phone for the first 10 minutes of the day. Just any little tiny promise to yourself. When you keep promises to yourself, your brain learns, oh, I can trust me. And that trust builds that worth that we want to feel. The next one is upgrade one sentence. Pay attention to one sentence that you say to yourself often. I'm so bad at this. I always mess this up. I look terrible. I need to lose weight. Okay. We're not going full toxic positivity. We're upgrading. Instead of I'm terrible at this, try I'm still learning this. Instead of saying, I always mess this up, say, I didn't love how that went, but I can learn from that. I can adjust. Language shapes our identity, and our identity shapes our self worth. So, if this is something that you really struggle with, I offer an entire course on quieting your inner critic on my website, noellerizio.com. Go check it out. This one is great. I want you to stop explaining yourself for simply existing. I see this all the time. This one is subtle, but I want you to start noticing how often you over apologize, over explain, add extra justification for whatever you're saying or doing. So instead of saying, sorry, this is probably dumb, but try, hey, here's what I'm thinking. Or instead of saying, sorry to bother you, try, hey, do you have a minute? Self worth grows when you act like you're allowed to take up the space that you're in, because you are. The next thing I want you to do is curate your inputs. You cannot cultivate self worth while constantly consuming content that makes you feel behind, that makes you feel unattractive, that makes you feel inadequate or bad about yourself. Okay, here's a quick win: mute one account that makes you spiral. Unfollow one account that you might use as a comparison trigger. Okay, add one voice or one account that feels grounding and realistic. Your brain absorbs what you feed it, so you need to really be aware and protect it. Then I want you to do one thing that future you will thank you for. This builds quiet self respect. Some examples of this: preparing tomorrow's lunch today, scheduling that appointment that you've been putting off, tidying up your space for 10 minutes, sending an email you've been procrastinating on. Okay. When you show up for future you, you reinforce, hey, I matter enough to care for. And that has a big impact. All right, so I want to share with you some emotional pick-me-ups for some hard days, because we know that they happen. They're going to happen. The insecure days, the heavy days, the I'm not doing enough with my life days. We all have them. Here are some quick emotional reset. Make an evidence list. When your brain starts to say, I'm failing or I'm not doing enough, ask yourself, what is the evidence? Where is the evidence? And then list 3 things that you handled this week, 2 things that you survived, and 1 thing that you did well. Facts calm distorted thinking. Okay, we need those facts. Otherwise, we're just filling in blanks with whatever will kind of justify what we're already thinking. So we need to look for the facts. The next one, borrow confidence. I am giving you permission to borrow the confidence that you need from someone else. Ask yourself, what would someone who loves me say about me right now? Because when your inner voice gets loud, it's rarely objective, right? It's skewed. Sometimes when we borrow a perspective from someone that we know loves us and cares about us, then we borrow that perspective until we can rebuild that in our own heads. Then the 10-minute reset. When you feel low, get up and change rooms, step outside, take a shower, play your favorite song loudly and move around to it. Okay? Space shifts create emotional shifts. You are not required to stay in the same mental environment all day long. Cognizantly moving yourself to a different space will help you reframe that mental state. All right, so here's the truth that I want you to know. Self-worth isn't loud, and it's not always glamorous. It's built in keeping small promises, speaking more gently to yourself, taking up space, protecting your energy, and showing up imperfectly. Because that's how we all are, right? We are all imperfect. So if you continue to show up imperfectly, that is your consistency. Here's the part that I really want you to hear. You don't build self-worth by becoming someone else or trying to copy someone else. You build it by consistently choosing you in small, ordinary ways over and over and over. If this video was helpful, comment below with which quick win you're going to start today and share it with somebody else who might also benefit from it. If you're someone who's been waiting to feel more confident before you act, let this be your reminder. Act worthy first. The feeling catches up. If any of this resonated with you, you can always listen to my podcast, Your Emotional Support Podcast, where I share all kinds of tips and tricks on how to build your self-worth. I will see you in the next video.